Aha! Not streaming, start recording. I'm not that fancy with the streams. I'll leave that up to the professional streamers with Tebby and Kai. But welcome to Week 3 2019 post mega matchup. Guys, I'm trying to make this a lot more short and sweet. Efforts are to make it more efficient, so that way it's a little bit more fun to watch. Quick read versus some of our hour long guest shows. Without further ado, um, Commish's Corner. We're looking at the social rule of the champion watch. Kinzer, he's given himself a first place fuck you of silence. Not really caring that he's sitting at number 10 on the waiver, because that's where he's going to end up anyway, since he is absolutely blowing it out. Highest points for in the league. Super happy for you, man. Definitely deserve that shit. And then, going on to our second offender of the social rule, it's the champion himself, remaining silent on Sleeper. And, or not Sleeper, on Discord. I apologize. On Discord. Guys, I'm usually pretty lax, especially the first week. You guys saw it last year, but Steve, sending memes on Sleeper, especially when it's a meme, one single meme responding to another meme. I couldn't really justify that for the league, and so you're going to be sitting at waiver 9 tonight, buddy. Hope you still get what you need. Not really, because you got to give us some love, man. Show us what that glory's like from up above. And that's what I get for also not turning my not turning my ringer off. R2, thanks, man. And then, guys, last point I want to bring up in the Commish's Corner. Team names? Seriously? What would the Ragnaroks think, man? Ragnarok is not going to allow the glory of it to be smothered with team names like Team 3, Grim, or Team 5, Cody, Team 7, Chris, last but not least, Team 8, Kai. Get your stuff right, fellas. We're almost a quarter of the way into the season. Give your team some love. Fly that banner. Give something that you actually want to put on a plaque, versus that tomfoolery. That's Commish's Corners, boys. On to the Sleeper Weekly Report. God, I'm loving this thing. Showing that best manager of the week, Codename, setting up an optimal lineup at 97%. Making his perfect possible score of 153.9. Wow, yeah, literally 4 points less than what he could have possibly made it, sitting at 149.1. I feel like that 150 mark is that new bench that we all hope to achieve that just simply says, I got it this week. Funny enough, the worst manager got 146 on the week, with a optimized lineup score of 85%. I think that's saying something when our whole league is optimizing their lineup at less than 15%. Good on you, Kinzer, scoring 146.24 on the week, and getting that biggest blowout on Grish, 146 to 96. Oof, 50 points more. Grish, even at that 96, man, last year not getting 100, that pretty much meant you weren't going to win last year, and that was before Superflex. The most narrow victory, God, this reporting on my own team in a negative fashion on the show seems to be a trend that is doomed to continue, and this feels like last year more than anything, but Grim pulling it off with Team 3 beating Gordon's Ramings with 134 to 132. Ugh, Chubb. I wish, man. You just needed 2 more points, but still an amazing outing. Can't be mad at my RB2. Some other players on my team I can't be mad at, though. Highest score, without a doubt, Codename at that 149. Lowest score, already mentioned, the Run CMZs at 96.26. Yeah, I like there's a little poop emoticon next to the team name Run CMZs. Some other things could be running with that too. And that's our Sleeper Weekly Report. Onto this new segment. I think that's actually going to stand the test of time this year. I know I've been throwing a few noodles against the wall with these segments and seeing what sticks. But this is really to help engagement. I think to give you guys some incentive. Picking up on some tricks, learning from Tebby and Kai and their awesome streaming abilities. But tell me, who is your favorite fantasy player that you've ever had on your team of all time, and why? If you answer by Thursday's kickoff at 7:20 p.m. Central Time, you will be awarded a 4-pack of beer from your commissioner, and that can be a 4-pack of whatever the hell you want, or 4-pack of mix and match straight out of the beer fridge. So just answer the question in the Trash Talk Tuesday Sleeper, because A, that's not going to count towards the social rule because you're already getting awarded beer. You're also not going to get awarded a waiver priority for that too. Just so you guys know, and then also it will not clue everybody in who isn't looking at that particular page, and continue to encourage that engagement. Appreciate you guys. Looking at last week's Games of the Week winners, because it was super crazy with how everything could have shaped out, and it was more tough for some than others, and we're keeping up with that theme of my team getting shat upon. So I might as well start out with that. Grim winning over me with Team 3 over Gordon's Rammings at 134 to 132. Codename with that highest score, taking Team 5 over Team 7. God, I'm getting bored reporting on team numbers. Then we have Cook's Rivers of Bad Juju winning at 114 to Feeling Up Your Cousin at 106. That's Steve taking out Spencer. And then we have Tebby keeping that perfect score, or a perfect record of 2-0 at dishing out 118 to Kai's unfortunately very rough streak right there with you, man. 118 to 102. And last but not least, Kinzer still dominating. Corncob butt plugs, 146 to Grish's 96. So there it is, and Grish with me and Kai at that 0-2 start. Hey, it's just the beginning of the season. That's just some sweet, sweet waiver wire action. And that's our games of the week. That was a lot to report on. Shmeesh. On to game of the week. That's how we're going to wrap this one up. It's going to be the undefeated matchup of Corncob butt plugs versus Team 3, managed by Graham. Isn't that fun to report? Corncob butt plugs versus Team 3, managed by Graham. Yeah, super fun. I'm sure Ragnarok was going to love that. Not. So looking at the teams, looks like right off the bat, I'm already seeing some waiver opportunities here. Actually, well, it looks like either Grimm's going to be starting Andy Dalton or he's going to be wavering since Breeze got that thumb injury. Kinzer has Tom Brady, who's looking fucking fantastic this year. And then Grimm's other QB, Kyler Murray, the hot rookie start, rolling them dice against Lamar Jackson, who it looks like this is his year. Good on you, Kinzer, for picking up that QB late. As far as picking up QBs went late for this particular draft at the Superflex. I'm definitely going to have to give Kinzer the edge with quarterback, since Grimm's currently down a QB, or having to have a combo of Dalton and Murray. Then on to running backs. Kinzer, Corncob butt plugs, rocking it with David Johnson versus Carolina without Cam. That's probably going to be a really good look, and it's going to be at Phoenix, and so Arizona's going to be enjoying that home field advantage. And also Kinzer has Damian Williams at home versus Baltimore. Baltimore probably the best defense out there, standalone. But yeah, that's a pass catching back on a high octane offense, and clearly, from what we saw over the weekend, you can't defend against every single Chief, and so it's going to be interesting to see what Baltimore is going to do. And then Grimm having James Conner at San Francisco. Looks like he's probably going to play. Got a little banged up last week. Versus Austin Eckler, who actually right now is the number one running back in fantasy. Still salty that you took Austin Eckler away from me on that round, but hey, I should have gone with a player that was in versus Gordon, who was on the bench. Probably could have came back to me. Oof. I would have to give the two running back cores equal love. I'm gonna have to say that it's a pretty even line across. Just kind of the up and down with Austin Eckler and James Conner. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if Eckler can keep up that workload, and also with James Conner. Who knows what that injury is going to look like? And now with Big Ben out, are the Steelers really a team to worry against, especially at an away game against the San Francisco defense that's been on point, led by Richard Sherman? I don't know. Well, actually, I just made it up. So Kinzer right now is winning with both having the quarterbacks and the running backs is what I'm giving. On to wide receivers, Kinzer has Odell Beckham Jr. and Kenny Golladay. Both look like plus matchups. Odell at LA Rams at home, and Kenny Golladay going to Philadelphia. Philadelphia secondary hasn't really been holding up. Carson Wentz is having to throw a lot more than he's comfortable with, and they're not really utilizing their backfield as much. But hey, that just might mean more of a shootout. So that's looking really good for Kinzer. Grimm having Michael Thomas and Chris Godwin. Godwin's been balling out, and they're going against New York, so that's going to be snaps for Grimm. For Godwin, however, Thomas at Seattle, with Teddy throwing to him and not having Breeze, you got to downgrade Thomas. So again, Kinzer is going to be getting the love at wide receiver too. Tight end, Kittle versus Ertz. Ertz with having both Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey going down. He's just been getting overly fed targets. I got to enjoy watching Ertz get targeted 17 times and pushing him over 13 points, which ultimately lost me my week last week. And then Kittle and Bitts versus Pittsburgh. They might be really hitting that run game. I don't know if they're going to need to throw that much. And, Kittle was showing up a little bit last week, only getting 6 points. Didn't stop Kinzer from almost hitting that 150 mark for the second week in a row. And so giving Grimm the first point with Ertz. In the flex, Kinzer has Jeffrey. I doubt Jeffrey's going to play next week, so Grimm automatically gets that with Aaron Jones. Green Bay's rushing attack should be pretty comprehensive against Denver, who's been letting quite a few running backs get the better of them. And then I'm not even going to talk about kickers and defenses. I mean, that's such a back and forth, but I'm definitely giving this game to Kinzer, who's also sitting at top of the league points for, as being one of the only undefeated, actually the only undefeated team to come out of week 3. That's it, boys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and hope you guys also participate and get that beer that's just sitting on the table. Good night.